Hey there, everybody, and welcome to Inside the Vandals. I'm your host, Madison McCord. Joining me this morning is men's coach Don Verlin. Fresh off the road, coach. You guys get the split, but a vital second win. But let's start off first on Thursday. You guys down at UTSA. This is a Roadrunner team that's ninth in the conference right now, but definitely a talented Roadrunner team. They have 3 scorers that are in the top 15 in the conference, and it was a battle of 2 halves there. Talk about your overall impressions of that one, you guys not able to come away with the win.
Well, you said it best there. It was 2 halves of basketball. We played very well in the first half of the basketball game, take a 40-38 halftime lead. Didn't play as well defensively as we needed to. UTSA came out and went on a little run, and we just didn't respond to it. That was really the difference in that basketball game. Michael Hill for UTSA played very, very well. They had a lot of energy, a lot of emotion, and quite frankly, they played better than we did and with more emotion than we did, and we just didn't get the job done.
And we've talked about Michael Hill before. North Idaho College, junior college product, goes down to UTSA. 74-56, the final score in that one. One bright spot for you guys continuing this season has been Kyle Brown. 13 points, 15 rebounds, another double-double. Talk about his play down there and his leadership in that first half and really throughout the season.
Well, Kyle played very well, especially in the first half. He had a double-double at halftime, and we didn't do a good enough job getting him the ball in the second half. He only had 3 points in the second half, and really that was the difference in the game. They really did a nice job of pressuring us. We didn't get the ball in the areas that we needed to, and we didn't score enough points. I mean, we scored 16 second-half points, and that's not nearly enough. But you got to give UTSA credit. They came out and did a great job of defending their home court, and they are a very talented team. And I was really, really happy with the way our trip ended up because I thought our guys really responded to the challenge on Saturday afternoon.
Last thing before we get to that Saturday game, Mike McChristian, 19 points on 7 of 15 shooting, 5 of 7 from deep against the Roadrunners. His offensive game is really coming along this season. He was known as a great defender, a great passer, just a solid overall player, but now the offensive game's starting to kick in. Talk about that.
Yeah, Mike played very well from an offensive standpoint that game. What they were doing is they were laying off him and doubling off him onto Kyle, and Mike was left open and he knocked down those shots, and that's what helped us stay in it there in the first half.
So now we move to Texas State on Saturday, a 90-81 Vandal victory, and this win means a lot. It's more than just a good Saturday win on the road. What it means is Idaho locks themselves into the number 6 seed in the conference and the number 6 seed in the WAC tournament. That avoids a Tuesday playing game. We'll talk about that a little more in the second half of the show, but give us your impressions of that game as well. A good, solid, hard-fought victory.
Well, yeah, it was, and it was a tough game, no question about it, because we all knew what was riding on that game. If we wouldn't have been able to beat Texas State, they would have had the tiebreaker. We most likely, like you said earlier, would have been playing on Tuesday, and that's not when you want to play. If you're going to have a chance to win the WAC tournament, it's a lot easier to win 3 than it is to win 4. So, it was a short turnaround, even though it's not a very far trip from San Antonio to San Marcos, just a little hour bus ride. We played early that day, 2 o'clock on Saturday afternoon, which is noon our time. So our guys had to get up early, get their energy going, and I thought we played real excited, real hard, and very well offensively.
And you talk about that offensive gameplay. This season, everything has really gone around 3 guys, whether it's Kyle Brown, Steven Madison, or Connor Hill. It's one of the 3 constantly. All 3 of them in 20-point numbers in this game. Kyle, another double-double. It's almost no one's surprise. But the one name I want you to talk about for a minute is Mansa Habib. Got 12 points in that game and really was able to spark a 4th scorer for you guys.
Yeah, Mansa did a great job in that basketball game. What they were doing is really trying to pressure us, playing strong out. Mansa was able to drive the ball to the basket. I think he went 7 for 10 from the free throw line, and that was one of our goals going into the game as we had to win this game at the free throw line, and we were able to shoot a high number of free throws and make a high number in that basketball game. Really thought that was the difference in the game because of the way they were going to guard us. Kyle played very well. Steven Madison had a good offensive game as well as Connor Hill. And it's not very often the Vandals go on the road and score 90 points. It was a great time to do it against a Texas State team which had been playing very well.
And then maybe one key here, and something that I don't know if it's something you want to work on or look at or where it works at. This entire road trip in these 2 games, Idaho scores 2 bench points between the 2 games. Obviously, guys like Wendell Faines, Joe Kammerer, they have a lot of offensive potential. Denzel Douglas is in there as well. just not able to get the points flowing here. How do you move that forward and get a few more points off the guys off the bench?
Well, we had some sickness in the Texas State game. Wendell and Denzel both were sick, so I knew they were going to be limited in game action, and I wasn't able to play them as much as we normally had. But you know, what I tell our guys is take what the defense gives you, take how the game goes. You know, don't force anything, and then those guys will come along and play better. Denzel played very well at Idaho State, and you just got to take advantage of your opportunity when it comes.
As long as the scoring's getting there, we don't really quite care who's
Exactly.
getting it.
Just get that W and go on to the next one.
All right, Coach. Well, thank you. We're going to go and take a short break here, guys. When we come back, we're going to talk about this Saturday's game at Seattle U here inside the Count Spectrum. It's senior night for the Vandal men. We'll also talk a little bit about seeding and the conference tournament here in about 7 days' time. We'll be back right after this on Inside the Vandals.